welcome to Davita's Stampin' Spot. I'm ready to share another video with you today with a fun card design. We're going to use an idea that I got from Chris Sloger. Chris, I apologize if I said your name wrong, that I just think is super fun. So we have this fun little belly band here that we'll take off, and then it opens like this. So it says, "A day without cookies is like, just kidding, I have no idea." Because if you know me, I love my chocolate chip cookies. So I want to show you how to make this fun card layout. We're going to start with a piece of cardstock that is 5.5 by 11, and we're going to score it in 3 places. The first one is 1 1/4. Make sure you have your scoring blade and not your cutting. 5.5. And we're going to open up the arm and go to 9 1/4. And that is going to create our card base. There are a lot of pieces and parts to this one, so in a little bit I will show you a paper that has all the sizes for you. So the first thing we're going to do is, let's see, got to think about this a second. We're going to score it at the 5.5, and when you look at your scored pieces, you're going to see that one end is a little bit longer or wider than the other. The wider one is going to be folded back to be the front part. And then the second one, we'll take like this and score. You're going to want to score these really well because you don't want your card to not, you want to score it well so it will close nicely. And you'll find you want to score on both sides of your marks, or burnish as we say. All right. So that's our card base. So what will happen is we'll close it like that, and then it will open like this. Let's start making some of the pieces. So this is the inside piece that will go in the card. And for this inside, I want to do the saying that says, just kidding, I have no idea. And I'm going to use some Bermuda Bay ink. This is our polymer stamp set, so I've got my foam mat underneath there to make sure we get a nice image. Then we're going to stamp a cookie in the corner. And my cookie's going to be stamped with Early Espresso, and then we're going to fill it in with crumb cake. So this set has so many fun sayings in it. You can use all of them for either cookies, coffee, cocktails, or chocolate. And then the sayings are just so fun. Even Ken, I was reading some of them for him today, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, these are cute and fun." They just bring a smile to your face. So I stamped off once because I don't want my cookie too terribly dark. I'm going to line it up and stamp it. And today I have this habit of getting extra ink somewhere. That is the second time I've done that. So I have 2 options. You know, we always are trying to find ways to fix. You could just trim that little bit off there, or as I tell everyone else, there's 2 sides to the paper. I could turn it over and stamp another one. And I think that's what I'll do. So we'll do that real quick here. This stamp set was designed by Connie Stewart, and our demonstrators get to design a stamp set when they hit 1 million in sales. And we've had several ladies in the last year hit that mark. So we've had a lot of fun different stamp sets created by the ladies. And it's always fun to see what they come up with. Alright, so I'll stamp my greeting again. I always like to use my lines on my paper to help get my paper straight. And then stamp. So there's our inside. Now we're going to take this little strip here and this, and we're going to stamp some cookies on it. And since it's already the brown, all I need to do is stamp cookies. and I always like variety, so we'll turn our cookie around. You'll notice that I'm not stamping the whole cookie on the paper, and the reason we do that is you want it to look like this was a piece of wrapping paper or designer series paper, so that you just cut some off of it. If you don't go off the edges, everyone can tell exactly what size your paper was, and I don't know, I just think it looks a lot better if you have some variety there. We're going to, this is the belly band, so I'm going to show you how I stamp that. I took the greeting that says coffee, I must have put it away, or cookie. Sorry, this is a cookie card. And we'll take our Simply Chamois. Thanks to Mary Kurtz, she caught my oops last week. I called it by our Stampin' Scrub. So we'll put our cookie on here. And what I did was I stamped cookie in the Coastal Cabana, on Coastal Cabana paper with the Bermuda Bay. And then I'm going to go back with the Early Espresso and stamp my cookies. I wanted my sayings to go different directions, so I'm just going to angle them. Cookies as well, looking a different way. And one more cookie. And that is our band. Then we need to stamp this little piece here. And this is another piece for the front of the card. And we're going to stamp cookies again on this one. And again, I want this to look like designer series paper, so we're going to go off the edges here a little bit. And you want one to go all the way on there because you want people to be able to tell what the words are, especially if you're doing words. And then I wanted to add just a little fun to it. So this is a little tiny star that matches the coffee cup here. So we're going to take our Coastal Cabana ink and add some little stars here. It's amazing how just something small like this can add quite a bit. It just adds some fun texture to your cards. All right, clean these off just real quick. You can tell my chamois is really dirty, and like I shared last week, you can rinse it out at the sink just for your daily use of it. And then if you know you're not going to craft for a while, go ahead and leave this case open so that it dries. And when you're ready to use it again, just get it wet with water. And then every once in a while, you may want to run it through the clothes washer. I did mine with towels. Just don't add any fabric softener. Just use your regular detergent. All right, so I want to also create this piece here. So it says a day without. We're going to grab that, and I stamp that in my Early Espresso. Like that. And I think that's all our stamping. We'll see if I remembered everything. All right, so now let's put our project together. Close up our inks. If I don't close up my inks, I find that I get ink where I don't want it. So I'm trying to be careful. So when I watched Chris, she suggested putting these pieces on when you have your card base folded, and I found that's a good idea because then you don't mess up and put it on the wrong side. So we're going to put our cookies here, like that. Looks like I cut that one a little wide, so we'll bring that paper trimmer back in. Always better to be a little too big than too small, because we can always cut some off. That'll make it look even more like designer series paper. because we could cut off more pieces. Bring this back. This set, when I saw it in our catalog, this was one of the first sets I knew that I wanted to get because it just has such fun sayings, and sometimes you just need something to make you smile. So I'll read you some of the sayings as I'm putting this together. So it says, today's plan, consume, and we can consume cookies, chocolate, coffee, or cocktails. And then it says, and I'm pretty sure tomorrow will be too. So our plan can be to consume it every day. And let's see, a day without is what we're using here, is like, just kidding, I have no idea. You're just like coffee, and, ooh, I'm kind of loose. You make everything better. There, you're just like coffee, you make everything better. And then another one I like is you can just say coffees, cookies, whatever you want, because adulting is hard. And I think we found life has just been a little bit difficult these days. All right, so I wanted to add some depth to my oval, and so I used these stitched ovals, stitch shapes, and I did the largest oval. Then I went to my layered ovals and used the oval that goes right bigger than that. So again, that's the stitch-shaped framelets, which is the biggest oval. And then I got the scalloped oval from layering ovals. All right. The other thing, the love you more than dies. There's also a saying in here that says love you more than, and then you can add all your stamped images to it. All right. Then what I did was I took and I stamped cookies on crumb cake paper, and then I used the Tasteful Texture 3D embossing folder, so it gave the cookies the feel of like being a real cookie because they're bumpy, which is fun. So I'm going to put these down at the bottom. On my sample, you're going to know that my cookie saying is just a little too low, and that was because I put the cookie on first and then put the cookie word on first, and then I added the cookies. So I learned my lesson, and we're going to do the cookies first. I'm going to use some dimensionals to pop up the middle one. I don't know what we would do without dimensionals, because I think I use them on every project. All right. One of the nice things that we've added in our catalog, or that we've returned, are the adhesive sheets. So when I cut out the word cookie, I could use the adhesive sheet so that it sticks. It's ready to stick. So I've got the adhesive on the back ready to go. And then I didn't want to lose my little dot, so I left it in the die so that I could just poke it out when I was ready to use it. So we'll take our cookies out. And what's nice is this just pulls off. It's ready to glue down. And we'll pop out the center, or I should say the top of the eye. And then I wanted just a little bit more to this, so I went back with the Bermuda Bay, and I'm going to add some more of those little stars. There we go. When I made my sample, 3 seemed like enough. Now it doesn't, so we're going to go with 5. There we go. I don't know, someone told me years ago you always want an odd number, so I usually try to do that. So there's the top part of my belly band. The other thing that was kind of surprising, this designer series paper is from the let's see, what's our official wording here? World of Good, this specialty designer series paper. It goes with the globe, beautiful, beautiful paper. But it also had this just real simple paper that I thought looked really nice with my crumb cake. Here you can see that foil on the back. I always feel bad when I take this beautiful paper and only use half of it. But it's what you got to do when you're gluing it down. All right, so this piece goes right in here. All right. So that's your card. That's ready to go. And now we'll put our belly band together. So I did one strip of Coastal Cabana, and it's 9.5 by 1 1/4. And then the Bermuda Bay is a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch bigger. So it is 1.5 by 9.5. Now, what you're going to do for your belly band, lay it down like this, and you want these two ends to meet here in the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect because we did leave some extra wiggle room. So now we're going to burnish this with our Take a Pick tool, like that. Now, if you want it really, really tight, you're going to push your card against here. If you don't, and I don't think you do, you want just a little bit of space so that the belly band will flip off, will slide off easily. So leave a little space on the right so that you can go right up against the card on the left. Now we'll go ahead and burnish this end. And put that back in there. Now you can use either our new Stampin' Seal or tear tape. I would suggest you want something that's got a real good hold to it because you don't want this coming apart. And what I do when I'm matching two ends like this is I usually put one piece on each page. The reason I do that is you don't have to worry about your tape going over the edge, so that I know this is going to line up, seal really well, and not stick where I don't want it to stick. So line that. The main thing is you want it even. Don't worry about up and down because this is going to slide. And then what we're going to do is take our cookie part and put it on the top. And again, I'm going to put my tear tape on the belly band. All right, so, and I hope I didn't make that too, good deal. All right, so this is the fun fold again. I just think this is so fun. I am looking for it. I've got some more cards I need to get made, so I'm going to make this with some different stamp sets and see the different looks, which I'll probably post in the comments after this is published. You'll be able to see some different ideas. So there we go. A day without cookies is like, just kidding. I have no idea. Thanks for, oh, not ready to sign off quite yet. I have typed up here for you the sizes for the different pieces, and your supplies are down here. Here's the hostess code. If you place an order with me this next week, please use this hostess code if your order is not over 150. If yours is over 150, then definitely take advantage of the Stampin' Rewards. But I put the rewards together so that I can purchase things for classes and for my team. So I'd appreciate that. I think that's everything. Hope you had a great week, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks.